Morning ladies and gents, Craig from Violent D. Got a pretty full workshop at the moment. We're doing a spoons race on this beautiful Honda Civic. I've never been a Honda fan, I'm going to be honest with you, but this, I think fd2, I believe. I'm not up on my Hondas, you have to excuse me, but I think that's an fd2. I really dig this car actually. This is going to be super cool. We're going for a spoons racing livery. I've wanted to do a spoons racing livery for ages, but it's going to be a full-on replica. So it's like bumpers off, headlights off, obviously everything that you can see on that car, trims all off. It's going to be absolutely mega. This is going to be one really cool livery. So I'm excited to film it and show you guys. If I just spin it quickly, BMW is almost there. We got Spark last night, so this is pretty much ready to go, ready for some skids. We've got our own drift day at Driftland up in Scotland on the 29th and 30th. There's only 16 drivers going to that, so that'd be really cool. So like super seat time city for 2 days. Has basically shit a turbo gasket, so it sounds like an old tractor at the moment, but yeah, she's been using that going to a few shows and stuff. And that's Evie's S13, which is being done at the moment. Reese has been working on that. We've managed to restock all the shops. We've got loads and loads of new Naboris coming in. Naboris everywhere. We've got another 24 coming from Japan. But yeah, we're stocked up on all the Boss coffees. Loads of super cool bits as usual. And then we've got our sticker section, DVDs, and the lanyard, stuff like that. They're all up now in the workshop. So yeah, it's all looking good. But anyway, on to the Civic. I will do some stop-start motion stuff so you get to see exactly what we're doing on it. We're going to get it in here, get it up on stands, get all the wheels off, and yeah, we'll do a few videos from there. But I'm super excited to start this one. These cars are rapid. I think this one's about 240 brake. So yeah, super quick. Nice little hot hatch. I wouldn't mind one myself, I've got to be honest. So it's now up in the air, wheels off. Like I said, I've never actually worked on a Honda before, so I've just googled how to take the bumper off, taking a load of clips off underneath. I think there's a screw in there. And from what it looks like, taking the 2 bolts out there and there, it should all slide forward, because what I need to do is get this grille off and get all these grills out, so they all screwed from the back from what I can see. But yeah, no, it should be relatively simple. I've taken these 2, that one and that one, for the headlight, and I think there's another one probably underneath the bumper. But yeah, so get all the skirts off, get all the lights off, mirrors off. I've got to take all the inside door cards out, so that'll be fun. Not. And then I've got to take the rear lights off. I just started by running a wire through, obviously on the logos, getting them off, so just got to remove all the foam. This one's just been done actually, so I've just taken that off, which leaves that, which is also equally as nice to take off. But yeah, you know, it should be good. I'm going to take out all this inner panel in here so I can wrap that, because the whole rear end is obviously yellow on the spoons racing livery. But yeah, it should all come apart pretty easy by the looks of it. Just the handles I'm not sure on. Normally handles on a car, every other car that I've done, you get like a little rubber grommet inside here and it undoes with a torque screw, but there's nothing on this, so I'm guessing it's all behind the door card. But I'll do a quick Google, find out, and go from there. Type R Spoons Racing, coming soon. Right, again, taking this spoiler off. I haven't Googled it yet, but from what I can see, I mean, it overhangs the boot. I would have thought it would have been fixed to this main bit rather than this little tab here, but there's obviously a screw in there. And I'm guessing there's a bolt here, which I'm guessing goes through to there. So, trial and error. I'm going to give that a whirl, see if that rear spoiler comes off. If it does, it'd be well handy. Oh, the joys, the joys. Yeah, so that little thing revealed the 2 bolts there, so it definitely holds that on. I will need to get that off actually, because I'm going to obviously be wrapping the full boot, so we'll have a look after where that is. Hopefully it's not underneath here anywhere or down there. Right, we'll sort that out when we come to it. You know what, I'm actually liking Honda more and more. So these little clips here come out the centre of this spoiler. So whenever I've got a spoiler like this to wrap, it's always a bit of a pain in the arse. It's normally one piece and you can't help but put a join somewhere. But this one, where you've got the natural join through here, if you look under there, it's bolts. So I think this whole centre section comes out, which is super, super cool. So I can wrap that in a bit and put the join underneath, nice and neat, then wrap these end pieces separate. The roof trims obviously just clip out on this. This one has pretty much had it. It's falling apart, literally. It's like crispy and horrible. So I'll obviously message customer and just say, look, we might need a new one. Look, it's absolutely annihilated in there. Either that or I'll just put this chrome one back in and wrap it black. So whatever the guy wants to do. I'm not mentioning names because I know some people are a bit funny about cars. So yeah. Anyway, this just comes out on clips, as you see. Yeah, so should it be good. So once I wrap the roof, it's obviously going to come down here and I can get it right tight in there, same as the top of the door frame. The bonnet is obviously all blue and then it's got a yellow section which comes over to here. And then the yellow comes right down to here, I believe, matches with the bonnet and cuts through like there. So yeah, should be pretty cool. I'm excited to do it. So carry on getting all these trims and stuff off. So it was exactly that. There was a couple of brackets on here. That's obviously a metal plate which is welded to it. And there was a couple of brackets, where are they? These ones here, which are underneath. And yeah, it was just glued on. So that was just glued onto there. There's a lot of cleaning to do on this, obviously. Taking that little trim bit out that I said. Now it's just a rear light removal. Should be nice and easy. I think these are just 8mm, a couple of 8mm bolts, a few in there. And yeah, and then it's just taking probably the inner boot lining out to get them out. So yeah, should move on pretty quickly. Okay, so the rear lights are not as easy. It's mad because there's 3 bolts on the back of the rear lights, which should just pop out, but apparently there's 2 bolts that go underneath here under the bumper. So I've got to take the whole back bumper off to get to the lights, which isn't a problem. I was going to take the back bumper off anyway, but I was hoping just to have this bit stripped down tonight. Yeah, anyway. Same as the front lights, I've got to take the front bumper off to get underneath and get the bolts under the front lights. So, yeah, we're getting there. Long. I tell you what, out of all the Jap cars that I've ever worked on, this Honda Civic is actually really good to come apart. Front bumper is really easy. Literally, for anyone wanting to know, there was just literally a Phillips screw. Oh, sorry, Phillips screw up there. There was some trim removal tool needed just to take some plastic clips off underneath all the way around, and it literally just slid off forwards. So that was it. You pulled the sides out of the bumper, it slid off forwards. Really, really easy. Same as the side skirts. I was fretting about it because normally like clips snap and stuff like that, but literally you see all the holes down there on the sill. They had these little white clips in, which are quite robust actually, rather than the normal crappy little clips that snap. They were just in there, and the whole side skirt, there's 2 screws on the front edge here, right down on the sill, so 2 screws there, and then the whole skirt slid forwards and come straight off. So yeah, winning. So it's looking a lot less like a FD2 Type R. Little things, but the skirts on this side, you kind of come across it every now and again where other people have taken them off. You see someone's snapped them out and glued something on. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you have to kind of deal with. What I'll probably do on this one, rather than order up a new grommet, which is going to take a little while from Honda, I'll use the front one because the front one has got bolts going through anyway, so it won't rattle. I'll nick the front clip, put it in the back, and it'll be absolutely fine. I will let the customer know, but can't odds it when other people have messed around. Just one of those things. But yeah, we are nearly there, so just got to get the front lights out now, door handles off, and this is pretty much ready to start wrapping. We've done an initial clean on it, but it's absolutely filthy underneath and stuff, so we'll go with a final clean, then an isopropanol, get it all down, a clay bar, make sure all the stuff's off. I mean, this one, there's quite a few little stone chips around the body anyway, so it's not going to be bang on perfect, but I'll get it as near on perfect as I can get it. So yeah, we're near enough there, like I say. Mirrors, door handles, lights, then we're ready to stick. Good morning guys, back on the Civic again today. So I've just done a quick test panel. That's the colour blue on the front. That's very, very, as close as I could get to spoon racing colour. Obviously you're pretty limited on vinyls, but that is, it looks a bit dark in this picture, in this video, but it is a lot lighter than that. You know what I was saying about the wrap will only go down as well as what's underneath. I did sand down a little bit on the bonnet. Obviously from 2 foot away you can't see it, but when you get up, stone chips were pretty severe. There's one bit there, and there was another large bit there. It was all lacquer peel with a big stone chip. There's not much I could do about it. They're just in there. Hopefully once all the yellow goes on the bonnet and you've got the spoons across there, it should take the dairy off it a little bit, but yeah, that's the colour it's gone. What I'll do, I'll set up the time lapse for the next few bits, and then you can see what we're doing. But yeah, no, the vinyl went down all right. Just get onto it. I'm really shocked actually. I'm quite. These wings, I was gonna literally. I always try and wrap and go inside, but from Honda, they're actually left bare aluminium on the inner edge of the wings, which is so strange. Like when you've got that shut, you can still see a little bit of silver. So. I don't think the vinyl is going to stick very well to bare alley, so what I might have to do is I'll try lapping it in first. If it doesn't then go, I'll have to trim off to this front edge here, which is not ideal, but I can only work with what I've got, I'm afraid. So yeah, anyhow, I'll set up the stop start motion thing. Right, so that's it before trimming. That's the vinyl down. It's actually really quite a weird shaped wing. It goes obviously that way, over the top and down, and then you've got the arch here. So it's, yeah, a little bit tricky, but it's looking good. Now it's just for the trimming. The trimming actually takes longer than actually the lane, to be honest with you. It's like about 25 minutes to fit that, and then yeah, probably about another 20 minutes to trim it all in, heat it all back. So looking good. Alright, so that's everything trimmed in nice and neat now. I've just got to tuck in down this line here, which I haven't heated yet, but you can see it's looking a lot better. So all underneath, it's all right the way round, so you'll get no lifting, nothing like that. All inside the wheel arch is tucked right in. All round, obviously all round the back down here is tucked in. What I almost like to do as well on some of these older cars, where you've got the plastics that are a bit knackered, so to speak. I mean, look at the difference from there to there. A little bit of heat on them normally brings them up nice. You just got, there you go, bit of heat on it and it'll take it back to black. So you just got to watch you don't do it too much, because you'll burn the vinyl or burn the plastic. So yeah, I'll go over, get them back to black again. There you go. So, massive difference. Once I finish the wrap, I'll go along, make sure the plastics are nice black. Should look $1 million. Right, and that's the door stuck. I've still got to pull this bit out here. That's all got to be heated in still, trimmed around. So basically, the yellow comes up from this point here, and it comes into roughly a point to about here, and then back again. So all this is going to be wrapped in yellow anyway. And then obviously I'll wrap the rear door yellow and put the blue bit on this bottom section. All of this bottom seal, although it doesn't get seen, that's all underneath the side skirt, but I'm going to wrap that up and into the underneath the door. Although it's not a full wrapping as much as all like doors off, stuff like that, we would still make it neat. Lucky enough, the car's blue, so obviously all inside the door shut's going to be blue anyway. The only bit on the rear, I'll tuck the yellow right the way in under, all the way around, so as the door shut, you won't see any of the yellow. But yeah, no, it should look pretty neat. Also, I'll just cut that down there. That's all going to be trimmed through. I've got some cutting tape, obviously, for the other bits. So yeah, you know, it's looking really nice and neat. Okay, so that's the door all on, trimmed in. Even though a skirt covers all this, I've wrapped the bottom part of here. That bit's obviously yellow going there, so I've wrapped up to here. So any of the, once the skirt goes on, if you get any little bleed of edge, you're going to see just the same colour as the body. So yeah, it's all looking mighty fine. Onto the other side. I won't bother recording the other side of this side's done to be exactly the same. I'll start doing some more recording when we get onto the yellow coming up over the roof piece, because that's when it'll get a bit more tricky. So yeah, alright, in a bit. Okay, so that's the end of another day. That's both sides done to the same point. What I've done, I've started trimming out some of the yellow. That will be literally going over this bit here and this bit here. I've already trimmed it out. It's amazing how much you use actually. That's from that point there to right the way round the back here is like 3 meters 400 long. I think I might have undershot it on the vinyl, so I'll probably have to order some more for the roof. I might have to go down there Monday morning, collect that. But yeah, no, it's gone well. It's gone down really nice. So yeah, not very smooth. Looks cool. This crease forming here, but as I push that out, it will bring that all the way along to the end, and I can push the air out that way. So I've still got a gap this part. What I can do is seal that and work that bit after, and just push this bit this way, which I might do, because this basically, the way I show you I'm working, it looks like an absolute mess, like it's not going to come out. But what I'm saying is, see this lump here, that's the worst bit at the moment, so I'm going to seal that and then push the air out coming this way down. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera there, but give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? Trick is on this stuff, you don't want to overheat, because if you overheat, you overstretch the vinyl and you get a colour difference. And where this will join up to the rear lights here, and this will join up to the rear bumper, and also the rear boot, it will look really off. So you've just got to be so careful not to overdo it. It's easily done. you're doing the minimal amount of heat that you could possibly do to get it round. Although it sounds like the heat comes on a lot, it's not actually faking it, it's over here. So I'm only applying the heat as and when I need it. So what I'll do then, I'll cut off the excess. I'll cut off the excess here, tuck it under, so when the light's on you won't see any blue. And then I'll just work something on this corner here so it goes over. What I'll probably do is heat it in a little bit more, splice it, fold that under, and then fold the other bit over the top. So yeah. Oh, let's spin this. There we go. We've still got loads of excess to go under, so that is the rear quarter all the way over to the front, and then it's obviously got to be trimmed out, and then the yellow follows on over onto the bonnet with the jaggedy lines. Very, very cool. Okay, so this quarter's all finished now, all tucked in neatly. So yeah, we've run it all inside up, all the way through, just cutting tape all the way down there. So it looks nice and neat. Once the side skirt goes on, I need to see where this bit finishes, because I don't know where basically where the door ends. There's a blue bit which comes down, and it's like, I think the yellow comes across at this sort of angle here. So I'm going to have to put a piece of blue vinyl going over to the shape there, and then follow it through, then the side skirt will go on. So yeah, it's looking good. So what we've done is we've folded it all inside the top seal here, so once the trim goes on you won't see any gap there. We've folded it right the way over into this joint here. Obviously all of this gets covered anyway, but it just means it's not going to lift. Yeah, same as all the seal inside here, all fed down through, all underneath. So yeah, real neat. It's going to look rad. Can't wait to see this finished. Okay, so I've actually bought this skirt inside the house to do. Although it looks super clean, you get to areas like this where it's all been scuffed. I mean, that will always show underneath the wrap. There's nothing I can do about that. I have rubbed it down a little bit to take some of the rough edges off, but it's actually gouged right into the plastic, so that will always show up. I mean, lucky enough, that is we're going to wrap it in the blue, and then that will be the end bit will be in the yellow anyway, comes across like that. So hopefully it should hide a lot of it, but you know, you're dealing with old cars. There's stuff like that, like stone chips on the skirts. That will always show through. But you know, as a whole, I think when you're looking at it, you know, you've got to look at these wraps from 3-4 foot away. They're designed as a large advertisement. You know, as much as it would look neat up close, you've got to look at it from hooning around a track at 100 mile an hour. So yeah. Yeah, I think it looked pretty cool regardless. So we've cleaned it with water, and then we hit it with the isopropyl just to take any of the grease off, any remaining grease, and then I clean it with surface cleaner, Avery Dennison surface cleaner, before the wrap goes on. So yeah, more in a bit. Okay, so that's both skirts wrapped in the blue. As you can see, that's the area where all the scuffs were. It's not perfect, but it's as good as I'm going to be able to get it, hide it. So yeah, I mean, once it's on the car, you've got the yellow going over that bit anyway, so it should work out pretty well. But that's all wrapped under. Obviously everything's wrapped over, all inside the recesses. So yeah, all looking good. On to the next piece of the puzzle. So I started the wrap on the boot. I was going to stick the badge back on, and then I noticed there was a blue colour-coded tiny little strip of body colour all the way around the outside of the badge. So I've had to wrap the tiniest little piece for the badge, so when it goes back on you don't see a bit of blue. But hey ho. Okay, so that's the boot lid pretty much near enough done. We took all the original badges off, even down to the foam number plate. You know, foam number plate holders. We re-glued them. I've done a new insert into the R because that was all faded, so that's all new. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. So majority of the wrap is now on. We're starting with the line which goes up. This I've laid in by hand, so I've done some cutting tape down here, pulled that through. So basically the whole rear door is yellow. And we've put this blue section on top, and then the yellow's going to go on the door, as I was trying to explain earlier. It just means it's the neatest way, because we can then obviously follow the livery all inside, the inside of the door shut, over the little bit here. It just means you're not going to get any lines either, like join lines. So that is a colour on top of a colour. Some people might have done this where they would do, you know, a door. They would have cut that bit out of the yellow and then put a blue bit in, but you'd have had a line, like a double line through there. This way just eradicates it. Obviously we followed it on, even though this is all underneath the side skirt. It just means if anything ever happens or you see an edged line, you're not going to get, you know, you're not going to get a funny colour coming through. So once that skirt goes on, we'll wrap the rear end of the skirt yellow, and then it'll all lead in with this. So yeah, it should look pretty neat. But yeah, so that was that. Let me just jump up quickly. So yeah, boot was done yesterday. All looking super fancy. Nice. Rear court was done yesterday as well. We've still got to do the mirror caps in yellow, but the bonnet's come down onto the bonnet now, so that's there. So it all leads around nice and neat. There we go. So it is getting there. Right, so that shape has been pretty tricky to make actually, so I'm just trying to get a rough outline of where it's going to go on the car. From the pictures I've been shown, so many different types of spoon liveries, whether it be on like DC5s, AK9s, like they're all different. They've all got like very slight changes. I mean, this one is the one that I found off an old school video. I've tried to copy exactly the, you know, the curvature on the, was it the stripe, I would say? It looks a bit like a flame, but a stripe. That's kind of the only one that I can see which is very similar to that. So yeah, I've got to have to run with that. I mean, there's so many different, like I say, there's so many different designs that people have done. Obviously loads of people have replicated this livery over the years. So God, look, my bloody barnet, Jesus Christ. Excuse my hairdo today, I've just jumped straight out of bed and started on the car. Yeah, so I want to try and get it as much to the original as I can. So that's kind of what I do. I mean, there's a big door number which is covering most of the front of that anyway. So yeah, I think that's kind of where we want to be with it. But, really starting to take shape now. Back bumper all on. Just pop the side skirt on. So what we've got to do is see what I'm saying about how you see this edge on the inside of the skirt. So that's the side skirt. So all this inside edge I've followed through, so it follows the livery exactly how it goes. So what I'll do now, I'll put yellow onto the side skirt, which will run down here, round and lip round there, so you'll see everything's wrapped. Same as the front, nice and neat, all tucked around. So yeah, it looks absolutely spot on. You know, you'd be hard pushed at you know, even a foot away to know that that isn't paint. So that's the idea. So once I get these two skirts on, this obviously skirt's not on this one yet, but once I've got the two skirts on, get them finished, wrap the mirrors, put the wheels on, drop it down, do the roof, and then it's onto the bumper. That's the most tricky part on this one. So yeah, them Then I'm going to put a Spoons Racing sun visor on it, so looking absolutely sick. So exactly like that, it all runs through the door, underneath the skirt, on the skirt, all runs through the same. And then obviously round the back, follows through. So that's as neat as you could possibly get wrap as you can get. So, yep, gonna be sick. So before the bumper goes back in, that's all done now, the bumper. Before it goes back in, I just wanted to give these headlights a polish up. You can see they're really tarnished. The customer hasn't asked for it, but it's something I like to do anyway, because it's you know, it's gonna look way better. It's the point in having the coal wrapped and putting some really dull headlights back in. It doesn't look too bad in the video, but they are really, really tarnished. So we'll see. I've never used this one before, but that looks alright. Should be alright. Right, let's see how they go. Good morning, ladies and gents. We're on our last day of the Civic build. As you see, it's looking super, super dope. Got front bumper on last night, all done. We've just got the roof to do, mirrors, and then the basic delivery, all the little graphics that go on it. I'll spin you around and show you what. So on here, you've got stuff like this, which I couldn't find. It's a logo that goes down here on the original. I couldn't find it for love nor money, so what I've done is I zoomed in on some pictures from Japan, managed to find it said rigid colour. So I just googled rigid spoons, obviously for the livery that it is, and that come up, and I managed to vectorise it, so I've been able to redraw that from scratch, same as the 300V, the Motul 300V logos. So it's just a lot of time and effort in getting that stuff done, but as you can see, it's looking mighty fine. Looking super, super cool, actually. Once all the actual graphics go on, it should be absolutely sick. Yeah, looking very, very cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some time-lapse videos for the side fitting the graphics, and then I'll show you the final product once it's all done. But we are near enough completion. Nice one. Apologies for stopping the time lapse, people. I realised I'd cut the bonnet for all round, which was obviously the wrong size, so I had to recut them, but it's now complete. Absolutely amazing looking. I'll spin you around so you can have a quick look. I've still got to put all the trims in just over the top here. You can see all the bits there, so they've still got to go in, but yeah, roof's done. Mirrors are done. Looking absolutely awesome. Probably, I would go as far as to say one of the neatest wraps I've ever done, actually. It's certainly been the most time consuming. That's for sure. Very, very cool. Even these, I wanted to get all the correct colours and stuff, so I've cut these actually, rather than printing them in one, I've cut them in vinyls. It's all laid up. That white is cut through the red onto the black and the white, so yeah, it looks very, very cool. Mirrors turned out real nice. And yeah, from the back, it looks insane from the back. yeah, super happy with this one. Obviously, considering the bodywork wasn't that great on it, it's actually turned out amazing. Good morning, ladies and gents. That's the Civic complete, fully done. It's a bit of a rainy reveal today. It's absolutely tipping down. And it's like a bog out there. So we've had the car outside for the last day or so. When I finish these cars, I always like to leave them in the elements a little bit, just to make sure nothing's going to lift or peel. This one's been out for a couple of days. It's absolutely fine. A little bit of water around it. But let me spin it around. I'll show you the finished product. So there we go, completely done. That's all the roof trims back in. We've done the extra little spoon logo on the skirt. We've also done the spoon on the back window and the Honda on the bumper. So yeah, this thing's looking absolutely wild. Job well done. On to the next one. Done and dusted. I'm going to try and do a few more YouTube videos, probably not as in-depth as this one or as long as this one. This was just showing you, obviously, it was a bit awkward to take off. We had to get every single part off. So, yeah, we'll do a few more videos in future. Maybe knock them down a bit in time. But just to remember, all these Noboris, we've just had a fresh shipment of Noboris in from Chiba in Japan. We've got loads and loads in stock. So you can go on the website, www.violentd.com. I'll put a little link below. And yeah, you can buy all this cool merch from there, so go and see us. Nice one. Catch you soon.